The biggest challenge I had with this project was allowing users to go back to edit their prior blog posts. So for this user, you can see this blog post. So going to edit it, you can see that a form is provided where they can update the title, the description, the image size, whether they want to share it or not, and updating the caption. I had a hard time with this portion of my project because I had to find a way to gather all these form elements to provide them to my PHP file to process, update my database, and provide a response back to the user to let them know immediately that the page was successfully updated. And I wanted to use Ajax so that you can see the effect taking place right away rather than navigating to a different page. So I'll show you how I did that with my PHP and JavaScript file. So this is the editor page that we were just seeing, and what it does, it's first it connects to the database, and then it grabs the posts that you want to edit, and then it's updating the HTML with the information in the database so that it makes sure that it grabs the correct post that you want to edit. And that was kind of a challenge using JavaScript because I had to figure out, well, how do I know I have, more than one blog post, so how do I know to grab the correct one? So once I figured that out, I entered I grab all the variables in the database and I enter them here to make sure that I have the right blog posts. And then once you enter all the information that you want to update here, I'll just enter the same information. Maybe I'll make a few small changes so that you guys can see how this page actually works. Okay, now I have all the data in there. So once you enter all the data, it's ready to go. You hit submit. So this is how I used Ajax in order to do that. So this is my Ajax file. And what I did was I created one function to handle all of this. So I have all my values down here, and I have an event listener so that when a click event happens, it'll grab all of these values and then call this function and pass those values, which are the values from the input elements, and pass them as parameters to this function. And then what I do is I actually create a JSON object where I enter these variables here. So my title from this variable gets entered here, and the description, size, share, and the caption. And then this JavaScript, this function here creates it into into the JSON format. And then we'll use that in a little bit later on. So here I have an if-else statement. So if nothing has been changed, then my page is not going to update anything. But if changes have been made, then this is where we create the Ajax request. And once the Ajax request is ready, it'll update my page. But first, it has to send information to the updaterecords.php file to process all the information, update the database, and then that's when it returns a response to my Ajax request. So my updates records PHP is the file that actually does all it does all the processing. It connects to my database. It grabs all the variables from the JSON object, and what I do is I there's a function in PHP that decodes your JSON object, and once you have that, you can extract all the information that was in the JSON object. Here I have my query that updates all the fields. Like here's the title, description, caption, and I just enter them here, and this will provide you feedback whether the post was successfully updated or not. And then that's the response that we get right here. What these do, it's what these what this JavaScript does is actually it grabs all the information you entered, and it updates the page so that you can see immediate feedback. And I'll show you that how it's shown here. So, remember how I made a few changes here. And it'll, once I hit submit, it'll actually show you the changes. So down here it'll tell you post was successfully updated, and you can see here that now the title and the description are also different.